All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started on our first AND circuit. So now I kind of gave you guys a scenario, and the scenario was I've got two conveyor belts and there's boxes moving along these conveyor belts and they're hitting limit switches, and then after so many boxes go, maybe they get jammed up and the limit switches will be tripped. Now I want it to be so that both conveyor belts have to be tripped, so that way there's pretty much two box jams right next to each other. Now the limit switches we are going to be using are going to look like this. Notice on these limit switches, if you can get really close, the one side has an NC next to the two terminals and the other one has an NO. So there's a normally open and a normally closed on this. We're going to be using the normally opens, and the circuit that we're going to be doing is going to look a lot like this. Now I'm not going to go over transformer, breakers, anything like that, because we already know how to do that. But the circuit will come over and it'll be one switch and another switch will have to be tripped to turn on something. And I want to have a light and an alarm come on. So what we're going to do is we're going to have come over here and I'm going to draw an alarm like so. And this was going to be a buzzer. Okay, and then I want to have a red light. So we're going to have a red light here. And we're just going to put the word red above that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to go wire this up for you guys, show you how to set up these switches going into the buzzer. Now you already know how to set up this parallel circuit over here with our outputs. So I'm not going to show you guys that, but mainly I'm just going to try to walk you through this right here. So let's go ahead and get over to the trainer and get that started. Alright, so now we're over here at the trainer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from my distribution block up to my light switches, and I'm going to wire these as an AND circuit like I had said before, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move it into my light, and then I'm going to go over here to this buzzer. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to do this really quickly, and then I'm going to kind of step back and I'm going to do all the rest of it for you really fast, and then I'm going to show you what the end product should look like. So let me go ahead and get that started for you. I'm going to go to the very end one first, and then I'm going to jump from there over to the next, okay? Alright, so we can see that the top one is our normally open, and these things can actually be pulled out, so you can actually wire them and then pop them back in there. I believe they're just held in there by magnets. So again, we can pull that out, and I'm just going to go ahead and do mine up based off of that. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to go ahead and grab more red wire, and I'm going to create a jumper that goes over to this second light. Now I'm ready to have this one jump over to my second light. So I'm going to pop this guy out now, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my jumper into the other normally closed circuit or switch on this one. They get kind of frustrating because sometimes the little switches will actually fall out while you're trying to wire in the second one, so be careful. So I'm going to pop this one back out, and I've got a much longer one here now because I'm going to make it go over to the other things. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Now you can see it's pretty much a series circuit, and you can see that all I've done is I've gone into the one side of the switch, out, and then around into the other one, and then back out. Now I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wire in my my alarm and my light. So let me go ahead and get on that. Alright, so now I'm just going to throw my runway cover on and we can start testing this thing. If you wanted to, we could even push that in there so it looks really nice. So Alright, so turned it on, ready to go. Now if this one and this one are pushed, you can see that my red light's on and the siren is going off. Okay? So let me get back a little further so you can maybe see that a little better. So, like I said, maybe this conveyor belt gets jammed up, and then this conveyor belt gets jammed up. Again, if this one gets pressed, nothing happens. If this one gets pressed, nothing happens. But if this one and this one get pressed, it goes off. All right, so that's our AND circuit activity. Go ahead and give it a shot. Like I said, you should already know how to do pretty much all of this. And this one isn't so much that different. It's really like a series circuit with switches. And most of it's really trying to understand the logic of what's happening. So you're going to say this one and this one, and so that way you can wire it correctly. So go ahead and give this a shot. If you guys need any help, please let me know. Oh, and make sure in your submission that you're actually walking through the whole process in your video about how this is working, okay? Otherwise, you're good to go.